Jose Sarr, one of the many Gomez's. Rodrigo Gomez comes into the side. Krejci's out injured. Angel Gomez goes onto the bench, as does Dan Bentley, Jackson Chichua and John Risner-Bellegarde as the teams come out into this magnificent old stadium. Just the one change for Tottenham. Jed Spence is in for the injured Destiny Udogie. They played out a 1-1 draw in North London back in September, and of the 87 times they've met in all competitions, Wolves have won 28, Spurs have won 40 and 19 draws. Big atmosphere inside the stadium. You've got to look at this in one of two ways. Wolves now really can go out there and play without any fear. They know their fate, and that can be dangerous. The two sides come out into the middle now. So Rob Edwards goes with a 3-4-2-1 formation. In goal, restored, Jose Sarr. A back three of the captain, Matt Doherty, Santiago Bueno and Totti Gomez. The four across the middle, Pedro Lima, Andre, João Gomez and Hugo Bueno. Matías Mane and Rodrigo Gomez are behind the lone striker, Adam Armstrong. On the bench for Wolves, the keeper Dan Bentley. Then we've got David Muller-Wolf, Hwang Hee-chan, Toro Orakadare, John Risner-Bellegarde, Jackson Chichua, Angel Gomez, Saheed Olajungu and Tom Edozie. Tottenham, they go with a slight tweak to their formation from the last time out. They go 4-2-3-1. Antonin Kinski still remains in goal. A back four of Pedro Porro, Kevin Danso, Mickey van der Ven, who is the captain, and that one change of Jed Spence coming in for the injured Destiny Udogie. Conor Gallagher and Rodrigo Bentancur, they will hold, and the three in front of them will be Randall Kolo Muani, Yves Bissouma and Xavi Simons, and Dominic Solanke will lead the line. Behind them, on the substitutes bench, the keeper Brandon Austin. Then we've got Radu Dragusin, João Palhinha, Richarlison, James Maddison, Mathis Tell, Archie Gray, Lucas Bergvall and the young Brazilian Sousa. Anthony Taylor is our referee this afternoon for what is a very, very, very important day in the history of this famous old club, Tottenham Hotspur. They know they cannot slip up today. They have yet to win a game in 2026, and it has to be now. There's no ifs, buts or maybes. With the way things stand in the Premier League table, they've got to get a win here today. And of course, they'll think, we're playing a team who are down. They know they're down, and it should be, it could be straightforward, but it's never like that, is it? So we'll see. Wolves in their traditional black and gold. Tottenham all in black this afternoon. Hope that's not an omen for them. And we're in bright sunshine. It's a beautiful day up and down the UK this afternoon on this sunny Saturday as the Premier League season draws to a close. Just a handful of games remaining, time running out, but you do feel that it is a straight shootout now between North and East London. West Ham and Tottenham, they're on the brink. They have to do something and do it soon, and we'll see what happens today. We'll keep you in touch with all of what is going on across the country in terms of the scores, what are relevant to this. Fulham have already beaten Aston Villa in the lunchtime kick-off. West Ham are at home to Everton. Liverpool are playing Crystal Palace, and Arsenal will face Newcastle United at tea time, and that's a big game for them as well. Manchester City now have overhauled them, but they'll be looking to get back on top with the visit of Newcastle, who of course are in wretched form at the moment. But here and now, this is D-Day for Tottenham. It certainly is, and Roberto De Zerbi watches on as Spurs, who are playing from left to right, get the game underway. Goes all the way back to the Czech keeper Kinski, all in light blue. Long ball downfield. Here's Totti Gomez now, plays the ball up the right-hand side, but that's intercepted. Most of the pitch in bright sunshine, apart from this near side where Pedro Porro has just taken a tumble in the shade. So Tottenham, 30 seconds gone here. They have a throw-in on this near side, halfway inside the Wolves half. Porro. It goes back to Kevin Danso, who's, it's harsh to say, mistake resulted in that equalising goal at the death for Brighton last weekend. Now then, here comes Jed Spence down this left-hand side. Simons. Back to Bissouma. Here's Danso once again, just inside the centre circle. Here's Porro, chips it down over the top for the run of Mawani, but it's just too strong. And Jose Sarr, all in bright pink this afternoon, chests it down and rolls it out, but Wolves put the ball out, trying to get that ball down that left-hand side. And it will be Edwards very animated inside the technical area. Even though they are down, they know they have a big part to play in what is a very exciting end to the season at both ends of the table. Bueno with the throw for Wolves, headed back into the Wolves half, but it's gathered on halfway, and they managed to get it across to this right-hand side. Here's Pedro Lima now. Ball back to Doherty, the Irishman, captain's armband today. Santiago Bueno just has the ball on the edge of the centre circle, rolls it to his side to Doherty. They're forced all the way back here, Wolves. Good pressure there from Solanke. Comes back to Sarr, whose goal's completely in shade. And his clearance downfield is not collected in there by João Gomez. And it goes out for a throw-in to Tottenham on this near side. It will be Porro once again for Spurs. 2 minutes gone. Short throw-in, gathered in by Gallagher, and again fed up toward the edge of the area to Solanke, played in out to this near side to Mawani, but he tried to put the ball infield and it was intercepted. Wolves have the ball back here, little overhead kick there up to the halfway line, but Danso wins that header, and then a foul comes in on Gallagher, who's gone down holding his face here. Anthony Taylor just being surrounded. Let's have a look here. Yeah, oh goodness me, caught a real elbow in the face there from the leap of João Gomez, the Brazilian. Yeah, that's not good. And really caught Gallagher there. So it is a free kick to Tottenham. Halfway inside the Wolves half. An early chance here from a set piece for the visitors. They'll be absolutely desperate to get off to a good start here this afternoon and calm those nerves. Absolutely pivotal game in their history. Of course, there are only 4 games remaining. They still are 2 points behind West Ham. Forest pulled away to 39 points. Ball whipped in by Porro! Over towards the back post. It was headed back across the goal. Solanke feels that he was fouled as the ball came across the face of goal. He was at the other back post. Brilliant header across, and he felt that he got a shove in the back there. And that was close. Great header back across the face of goal by Bissouma. And Solanke appealing there that he was shoved in the back as he was going for that header at the back post. Jose Sarr having plenty to say. I think the referee has sent that one upstairs. Roberto De Zerbi looking philosophical, hands in his pockets. It's just going to be a goal kick for Wolves. And Sarr puts the ball on the edge of the 6-yard area and then lashes it downfield into the bright sunshine. Sails over the head of Andre. Header there from Van der Ven. Now Spence down this left-hand side, trying to get away from his man. He cuts inside, he's fouled, but the referee plays advantage. Here comes Simons, and he's sandwiched there, but he gets back up, and then Gallagher rides another tackle. Anthony Taylor still playing advantage here. There's been 2 or 3 fouls in the build-up to this, but they've still got the ball here, Spurs. Now then, here's Spence in the box, left-hand side. It goes out for a corner. This is good stuff from Tottenham. They've come out with intent here, and they're putting Wolves under massive pressure already. Just over 5 minutes gone. It was Doherty there, just got across the face of Spence. Took a tumble, the Irishman. Thought that he was fouled. But it is a corner for Spurs on that far left-hand side in the shade. This whole end of the pitch in complete shade. It will be Xavi Simons, the Dutchman. The first corner of the afternoon. Over on that far side. Just shy of 6 minutes gone. Good opportunity here now for Tottenham. Siemens goes short to the edge of the area. Porro whips it in towards the back post. Sarr comes out and punches it clear out to this right near side. It's gathered in by Bissouma. And then the ball chipped down that right flank again, but it's headed infield by Hugo Bueno. But then Tottenham win the ball back. They look very up for this afternoon, and they have to be, and so they should be. Just a bit careless that from Wolves, just dawdling on the ball. Spence once more. He's drifted over to this right-hand side, not sure why. Now Van der Ven. Here's Danso on halfway. Just miscontrolled that slightly and had to go after it. Still has it, the Austrian. Chips the ball. Brilliant ball down that right channel. Looking for the run there of Solanke. And it's headed out. I think it might be another corner here for Spurs. They do look very lively. Will we see James Maddison for the first time this season? He didn't appear off the bench last weekend, but he's there in case Roberto De Zerbi needs him. The Italian still standing there with his hands in his pockets, just watching on. It is actually a goal kick for Wolves. Sarr with the long ball downfield once again. Towering header from Danso up to the halfway line. Now there's all kinds of legs involved here, but Solanke comes away with the ball on halfway. Kolo Muani now down this right-hand side. Tries to get in round Totti Gomez, who's forced to clear it out for a corner. And this is looking good from Tottenham here. 7.5 minutes gone. And they are looking very dangerous. They know they cannot afford anything but a win here really today. And into this little pocket of sunshine on the right side on this corner flag comes Siemens again. Javi Simons. 8 minutes gone. Second corner of the afternoon for Spurs, this time on the right hand side. This time they go over to the back post. Oh, it's far too strong. Sails over everybody and goes out the other side for a throw-in. Very disappointing that from the Dutchman. They have started very brightly here, Tottenham. But it's all about a 90-minute performance. So it is a throw-in over on that far side to Wolves. 8.5 minutes gone. Big contingent made their way up from North London this afternoon. Oh, in fact, I think it's going to be a free kick to Wolves here. There must have been an infringement in the penalty area as that corner came over. So Sarr with the long punt downfield yet again, looking for Hugo Bueno. It bounces over his head. Porro then launches it back up towards the halfway line, but that's well dealt with there by João Gomez. Back it comes to Santiago Bueno. He fires it up to halfway, but again Tottenham pressuring away. They forced a throw in. For Wolves it will though be for Pedro Lima. Long throw down that right channel. Here's Adam Armstrong. Pushed out over to that far side. You have to feel for the little English striker. He came here. I think he's been relegated about 3 or 4 times from this division in his career. And it's happened to him again. Anyway, here are Wolves now with Hugo Bueno on this near side. Plays it infield, but again, Tottenham first to the ball, but then carelessly give it away. Ball fired up to Armstrong. Clever little back heel flick, but Gomez slips in centre field, and that allows Simons to gather the ball and go herring downfield. He's had to put the brakes on. He's done well to hold that up. Sends it back to Bissouma on halfway. Porro. Now Danso. Here's Van der Ven on the halfway line. Plays it infield. Little flip round the corner there by Bentancur, but that wasn't a good one at all. Sent Porro scuttling to try and retrieve the ball over on this near side. Danso has it once again. Now Van der Ven. Spence on this left-hand side, pushing up high. This is Bentancur once again, the Uruguayan. Van der Ven. Again, Tottenham now just settling it down across the back line. Porro once more, back to Kevin Danso, and he's forced to send it all the way back to Kinski, who just has the ball at his feet, sends the ball up towards Bissouma, and now it comes across to Van der Ven. Just settling it down, Spurs here for that whirlwind start, looking to just keep hold of the ball and build. Good ball up through the middle there, but it's easily defended by Santiago Bueno, but they lose the ball, and now it breaks for Moani. Right hand side, tries a shot, but it's gone well wide from the Frenchman. He's not really hit his strap since coming here on loan from PSG. Well, that was, again, just really good pressure, and then a really careless ball from Andre. But he'll be disappointed not to hit the target there, Kolo Muani. Just cut across the ball. It went about 3 or 4 yards wide. De Zerbi unmoved as he turns and walks back into the technical area. Now then, Wolves have it on halfway, chipped up to the diminutive Armstrong. He's not going to win that battle. Van der Ven gets the header. It goes back into the Wolves half. Doherty. Cross to Santiago Bueno. Now Totti Gomez. This is Hugo Bueno, tight to this near touchline, hemmed in by 2 players. Tottenham win the ball off again. That's just too easy. Porro, ball infield to Kolo Muani. He squares it to Simons. He squares it all the way out to Spence on this left-hand side. He has it edge of the box, tries a right-footed shot, which is blocked, and then cannons into the referee. So, and then the Spurs players are fuming because they want to play on, but the referee's saying, well, no, it hit me, so we have to stop. It is a bit of a stupid rule, I have to say. On occasions like that, there's no reason why they couldn't have played on there. And now he just drops the ball at the feet of Xavi Simons, which has, of course, allowed Wolves to get back in position. It's a stupid rule. Sometimes it's okay, but you've got to interpret it. Good ball round the corner. Oh, ball squared across the 6-yard box, and a last-ditch clearance out for a corner by Matt Doherty. Excellent work there from Porro. And Doherty, had he not got the sliding clearance in there, Solanke was waiting behind him for the simple tap-in. But the Irishman got a leg to it. He did have Sarr behind him, to be fair, but good defending there from the skipper. And it's another corner for Spurs on this near right-hand side. And this time they'll be hoping that Xavi Simons doesn't overhit it like he did the last one. 13.5 minutes gone. Corner floated in, and that's gone towards the edge of the area, set piece, but the side-footed volley has gone high over the bar by Pedro Porro. Just tried something a bit different there, Tottenham. Now, Wolves have it inside the centre circle. Matthias Mane, he's such a talent breaking forward. Now, Hugo Bueno. Ball comes into the area, just fizzed across the edge of the 6-yard box. Armstrong couldn't get anything on it, and it goes out on the other side for a throw into Tottenham. And that's the first time, really, that Wolves have threatened the Tottenham area, the penalty area, with a cross coming in. Drilled that across the face of the goal there, Hugo Bueno. That's just a little warning to Tottenham there. But they're not going to have this all their own way. They have dominated the game so far. Here is Spence, gets the ball back off that short throw. And now it's at the feet of Antonin Kinski. Now Danso, 65% possession for Tottenham in this opening 15 minutes. Nothing to show for it just yet as they come downfield again here now. Bissouma comes out to Spence on this left-hand side. Bissouma once more. Now here's Van der Ven. Porro on halfway. Chips the ball down that right channel here. Kolo Muani heads it back infield, but it's well defended by Santiago Bueno on the edge of the box. He stabs it downfield. Gathered in by Danso, who squares it to Van der Ven. And Tottenham will come again here. Ball comes out once again to this left-hand side to Jed Spence, trying to get in round Pedro Lima. Gets into the box, but Lima gets the last touch, which allows Bueno to hammer the ball out on that far side for a throw-in. Playing very high up the pitch, Jed Spence. He is supposedly a left-back today, but it looks as if Yves Bissouma has sort of dropped very much deeper and allowing Spence to play higher up the field to try and give them some extra width. Ball back at the feet of Van de Ven. Now Kevin Danso. This is Pedro Porro. Ball into the shadows on this near side. Kolo Muani now trying to get round Totti Gomez. Gets it towards the byline. Good sliding challenge from the Portuguese defender. And it was the final touch. Did come off Kolo Muani. So that will be a goal kick to Wolves. 16, just over 16 minutes gone. Still 0-0. Yeah, the block from Totti Gomez, and then it ricocheted back onto the shins of Randall Kolo Muani. So another goal kick for Wolverhampton Wanderers. 16.5 minutes gone. Their 8-year stay in the Premier League has come to an end. Of course, Burnley are also been relegated. That was confirmed this week. I mean, to be honest, Wolves and Burnley have pretty much been down for quite some time, but it's now official. But this is a good break up the middle now. Oh, that's miscontrolled though by Mane. It was fired at him, to be fair, and Tottenham win the ball back. They chip it down this right side again. Kolo Muani, 3 men around him. They get back in numbers, and they've won a throw in there. Good work from Andre, who came in. The last touch did come off the Frenchman, and out for a Wolves throw in on this near side. Hugo Bueno will take it. No goals so far in the Premier League games this afternoon. Keep you on top of what's going on at the London Stadium, which is very critical to what's going on here this afternoon. There's a loose ball from Spurs, and it's collected over on that far side by Lima. And then it comes back to this left-hand side. Totti Gomez. Now then, here's Bueno. Back in field to Gomez. He crosses it into centre field, and that's nicely done there inside the centre circle. Almost a foul there on Andre. But he manages to keep the ball. Comes back out to Hugo Bueno on this near side. And Totti Gomez, halfway line. Yao Gomez feeds the ball up to Matthias Mane. That's all. He almost managed to pick out Armstrong there. It was sort of an L-shaped pass down that left-hand channel. Armstrong just peeling away from Danso, but the Austrian just managed to get the block in. And Spurs have it here, trying to get out of a tight spot, and they do that beautifully. Now they have it in centre field, and they can break now with Xavi Simons. And now the overlapping run, but the pass is poor from the Dutchman. Too strong. Spence was really motoring downfield there. And Sarr rolls the ball out, and Totti Gomez will bring it forward now for Wolves. Now Hugo Bueno. Wolves just starting to grow a little bit more into this game now. And withstood an enormous amount of pressure in the early going. Here's Matt Doherty. Down to Pedro Lima on this far right-hand side. Fired into Armstrong, but that was a poor touch from the English striker, and that goes out for a throw-in to Tottenham over on that far side. Wolves take the throw-in. Sorry, the Tottenham take the throw-in, and it's squared across here now for Danso. Now Kolo Muani on this near side. Ball comes back into Porro. Just trying to stretch Wolves from side to side here at the moment. Now Bissouma has it on halfway, feeds it through the middle, gets it back from Xavi Simons. Bissouma once more. Here's Spence. He loses the ball there. That's good work from Lima, but his ball downfield is only going to go to the feet of Kinski, who comes out of his goal and just rolls it with his foot towards Van de Ven. Now, long ball over the top, far too much on that, and that sails out near the corner flag. And it will be a throw in to Wolves. Yeah, Roberto De Zerbi, his hands in his pockets, just watching on. Tottenham fans here in numbers. Lima with the throw down that left-hand side, but it goes straight to Van de Ven. And that's been given away there by Bentancur, but then they win it back fortuitously, and it's rolled back to Kinski, who's out of his area. Sends it to Van der Ven on that far left-hand side. The Dutchman then squares it across to Danso. He'll bring it up to halfway. Little flick round the corner from Gallagher. Now here's Kolo Muani waiting on that touchline, but Porro decides to go back into Gallagher. Now back to Danso. Squares it across to Van der Ven. Now Bissouma. Through the middle they come. Simons. That's a good ball out to Kolo Muani on this near right-hand side. He whips a ball into the area, but it's easily headed away. And Wolves have to clear it out for a throw-in on this near side, just about level with the edge of the penalty area. 21.5 minutes on the clock. Conor Gallagher with the throw. Decides to go back up to Danso on halfway. Now here's Mickey Van der Ven. Ball comes out to that far left side once more. And again, that's a little bit careless, and they got away with it there. Spence, heavy touch, lost the ball, but it squirted out to Bissouma, who was able to retain possession for Tottenham. Here's Porro down this right-hand side. In those shadows, sends it back to Danso. Now, ball breaks on the edge of the area. Well, that's good defending, because Kolo Muani almost picked that up there. And then a big shove comes in. They're still trying to get rid of the ball here, Wolves, on the edge of their own penalty area. They come away with it. And now they play it up towards the halfway line. I have to tell you, it's really difficult to see when they have the ball in this area on this near touchline. It's so dark, you literally can't see who's got the ball. Doherty with a long ball downfield. Chested down by Armstrong, but it's forced out on that far side. It will be a throw-in, though, to Wolverhampton Wanderers. So we're halfway through this first half. 0-0. Throwing to Wolves over on that far side. Pedro Lima will be the man to take it. He's looking for options right now. But his throw only finds a black shirt. That was a little bit careless. Here's Gallagher. Now, that's going to be a foul, is it? Over on that far side, it is. Little shove in the back on Solanke there by Doherty. Spurs have a free kick. Played short back up to the halfway line and quickly. Now here's Danso, some space to come into. Porro. Gallagher comes out to this near side again to Kolo Muani. He fires it though back up to the halfway line. Danso. It's patient stuff from Spurs. Very much dominating possession of the ball, but just not really doing much with it at the moment. Here's Simons. Now Danso. Porro once again. Comes out to this near side once more. Kept in by Kolo Muani. Infield to Bentancur. Kolo Muani now back to Danso. It's all very side to side and not really going anywhere at the moment, this from Spurs. But they are retrieving and keeping possession of the ball. Bentancur, now Bissouma. But again, they find themselves back near the centre circle. Comes out again to Muani on this near side. Plays it round the back for Porro. He tried the same to feed in Muani near the byline, but it was well read by Totti Gomez, who won it, clears it downfield, but it goes straight to a black shirt, and then that's an awful ball from Danso. And Tottenham do well to keep it in there. That was good work from Bissouma. It was a width of the field pass, but it was way off target. And after a very bright start from Tottenham, they just seem to have gone off the boil here. Yes, they're dominating possession of the ball, but they're not creating anything at all at the moment. And it's all rather pedestrian and not very exciting to watch right now. And that's a poor ball again out to that side, but there's a needless foul there from Hugo Bueno on Kolo Muani. Came in from behind and just clipped his left ankle. 25.5 minutes gone, still 0-0, no goals anywhere else in the Premier League with the games taking place at the moment. Liverpool 0, Palace 0, West Ham 0, Everton 0. Arsenal take on Newcastle at 5:30 GMT. Here's Porro on halfway. Across to Van der Ven. Spence. It's almost as if, though, that Bissouma has almost dropped into that left-back position, and Spence is playing out wide left. Wolves forced back to the edge of their area, and it's rolled all the way back to Jose Sarr. Now here's Doherty. Long ball up to the halfway line, trying to find Armstrong. He forces Van der Ven to put that out for a throw-in. Over on that far side, just short of the halfway line. 26 minutes gone. A difficult season for Wolves, without a doubt. It's been a pretty miserable one. Not had much to cheer at all. Very low points tally, but that ball down the right-hand side, Kevin Danso furious with his colleagues there. Armstrong has managed to win a corner off the big Austrian as he went towards the byline, but Danso was going, where was everybody? Was not happy at all there. Yeah, just 3 wins all season for Wolverhampton Wanderers. And as things stand as they are right now, they're on 18 points from 34 games. It's been a real slog for them. Anyway, they have a corner here, their first of the afternoon, on that far right-hand side. Will be an in-swinger. No, they go short to the touchline, and then it comes to the edge of the area. Now it's chipped in towards the penalty spot. Danso wins the header. Then it breaks to the edge of the 6-yard box. Shot from Armstrong. He's blocked by Solanke of all people, but then he loses the ball on the edge of the area. Wolves square it, but it's blocked and goes out for another corner on that far side. Good work there from João Gomez, but that was a bit careless there from Dominic Solanke. Got the first block in there and then just dawdled on the ball for too long and had it pinched off him. So another corner for Wolves on that far side. 28 minutes gone. This time it comes in as a traditional corner, headed away by Solanke, high up into the air, and then a fluffed volley from Simons. Luckily, found Kolo Muani. Now the ball hammered long downfield, but Jose Sarr's come way out of his area, so far in fact that he passes the ball back towards his own goal and then just dives on top of it as Kolo Muani was breathing down his neck there. And he rolls the ball out to Hugo Bueno on this near side. Almost half an hour gone, and tension still very much evident. Tottenham, for all their possession and dominance of the ball, would have really hoped to have had something to show for it by now. It's a poor ball downfield by Rodrigo Gomez. It goes out of play, but they haven't. 29 minutes gone. Rob Edwards animated in the technical area. Throwing comes in from Porro, gets it back, and he chips it across the pitch, but it's ended up at the edge of the penalty area, fed back to Kinski by Spence, who then lashes it downfield. It's held up well on halfway. Now, bit of space here for Xavi Simons down this left-hand side. He feeds in Solanke. He should be in the middle, not on the left. He gets it to the edge of the box. Can he find a ball to cut back? Now Simons. Oh, and then they're surrounded by gold shirts, but they lose it, edge of the area. Simons tries a shot. It's gone way, way wide of that right-hand post. He's claiming something, but the referee not interested. There's a half chance there, but it was good work from Solanke. But he should be the man in the middle. But he was always really off balance there, Simons, and he couldn't get his foot round the ball and steered it well wide. And Tottenham here just got to be careful not to get too frustrated. Have to be even more careful not to get caught with a sucker punch at the other end. Although Wolves have barely threatened the goal so far. That's good work in centre field from Bentancur. Gets himself out of a tight spot, gets it to Spence over on that far side. He then cuts in field, gets around Doherty. Now he finds Porro in space on this right hand side. Kolo Muani then gets it near the touchline. Oh, that's a poor ball from the Frenchman. Tried to feed it through back to Bissouma on the edge of the box, but he only found a gold shirt. And this is good work from João Gomez. Here's Hugo Bueno on this near side, but he's bundled off it there by Porro. That was too easy. Now then, here's Simons in centre field, but again, it's a good challenge there, working his way back. The Dutchman feels he was fouled. And Wolves are going to get a free kick this time, because then Anthony Taylor said that Dominic Solanke was the man with the foul. Simons is up in the referee's face, but Anthony Taylor having none of it. Just dawdled on the ball a bit too long there, the Dutchman. Well, he might have a point there. I think that was a foul from Rodrigo Gomez. It was very clumsy, coming in the back of him there. And then it seemed that Solanke was the man penalised for what appeared to be not much at all wrong with his challenge. Anyway, Wolves' free kick downfield is a poor one. It's headed straight back up to halfway by Kolo Muani. Bissouma back to Van de Ven. 32 minutes gone. Kevin Danso. Kolo Muani infield to Pedro Porro. And Van de Ven once more. 32 minutes gone. No goals in the Premier League so far. It is tight, isn't it? It's tense, it's nervous. Also, it's a big day for the Merseyside clubs, because they're vying as well, you know, for European places. Liverpool especially, who've had a rotten season in the defence of their title. They'll be hoping to capitalise on Aston Villa slipping up at Fulham this afternoon, in the earlier game. In fact, if Liverpool do win that against Palace today, they will leapfrog Villa into fourth place on goal difference. But remember, it is the top 5 this season that go through. Anyway, here's Bissouma. Space now for Spence. Edge of the area on this left-hand side. Cuts in on his right foot. Then it comes back to the edge of the area. Bissouma. Now Simons. Works it across to this right-hand side. Kolo Muani. Now Porro. He tries to cross the ball, and it takes a huge deflection. Balloons high in the air. Porro wins the ball back. Tries to fire it back in. And then Wolves head the ball clear, but not completely, and it's coming back at them again here. Here's Bissouma down this left-hand side, but it's going to be a throw-in, even though a Wolves player's gone down in that challenge there, and it's João Gomez. But Wolves here are proving a difficult nut to crack. They may not have had much of the ball, but you definitely can't fault them for effort and endeavour this afternoon, even though they know they're already down. But like I said before the game, when you know your fate, you can just go out there. I think probably enjoy is probably the wrong word, but you can play with freedom, because, you know, there's nothing riding on it for you. But they do lose the ball here on the edge of the box, but not the best cross put in there by Porro. Solanke trying to hold it up on the edge of the 6-yard box. It is fired into the goal, but the flag had gone up a long time before that. I think our foul maybe. Gallagher, the best cross there, and then there was a shove by Solanke on the back of Santiago Bueno. The Uruguayan went down, and it is a free kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers inside their own penalty area. And 34.5 minutes gone. We're still awaiting a goal, not just here, also in the Premier League this afternoon. Not the best pass upfield there by Doherty. Spence was the first to it, but then he's had it pinched off him on that far side. Doherty tries again up to the halfway line, just flicked off the chest of Armstrong and goes out for a throw-in to Spurs, just inside their own half, which goes back to Van de Ven. 35 minutes gone. Now here's Bissouma. Now Simons on halfway, just nudges it to Bentancur. Now Porro comes out again to Kolo Muani, but it's a poor ball from Porro. He doesn't find the Frenchman. It goes out of play, and after that first 10-15 minutes, Spurs have just become very ragged, and that again is tension, it's nerves. You know, they would have hoped to have got off to a flyer here, but they're finding Wolves a difficult nut to crack, when maybe they thought that they might not do. There has been a goal. Liverpool have taken the lead against Crystal Palace. Alexander Isak he's back with a goal after 35 minutes. So 1-0 to Liverpool at Anfield, as Matt Doherty comes forward now for Wolves, just short of halfway. But again, it was not the best pass there, put massive pressure on Andre, but he got himself out of trouble. Hugo Bueno. Now it comes down this near side at the feet of Rodrigo Gomez, back to the halfway line. Wolves just happy to have the ball at their feet for a little while here. And that's a great ball played down the left channel here for the run of Armstrong. He's trying to get in around the back of Van der Ven, and that will be a goal kick. He tried to and fashion a corner there. Now that was a physical mismatch, if ever there was one. Nicky Van der Ven and Adam Armstrong. It was a good ball played down that left channel to the little striker, but just doesn't have enough support up there. Almost 37 minutes gone. It's developed into a bit of a stalemate, this, at the moment. We do have a little break in play here. Oh yeah, there's a little niggle here for Dominic Solanke. And the medics are on. Of course, the players taking the opportunity now to get some fluids on board, speak to the coaches. It is very warm here today, which makes a very pleasant change. Richarlison is warming up. I think he might be needed here. Looking at Solanke, he's feeling the back of his left leg. Just got caught there, a little niggly challenge from João Gomez. He just then felt the back of his left leg, which usually points to maybe a hamstring, which is, well, it could be a season ender for him. But he does have the ready replacement of Richarlison on the bench, who's more than capable, especially when he has a point to prove. So De Zerbi talking with his players inside the technical area as they come across for a water break. And Solanke still receiving treatment. Rob Edwards, animated conversation with Totti Gomez inside the technical area. Maybe just wanting to change things tactically at the back. Solanke, I think he might be done here. So we might be seeing the enigmatic Brazilian, with the bleach blonde hair. The tactics pad is out. He gulps down a big drink of water. So Richarlison is going to come on for Dominic Solanke. A totally different animal up front now for Spurs. Doesn't have that physicality of Solanke, but he has pace and he's got a good finish on him. And he does have that knack, Richarlison, of scoring important goals in his career. He's very hot and cold, as we know, very injury prone as well, for that matter. But he does have this knack of scoring very important goals. This is a big chance for the Brazilian now, as Solanke comes off. That's a big blow for Spurs. But it's a different threat now that Wolves will have to face. And in some kind of weird way, it could be just the change that the game needed, because it has gone into a bit of a stalemate, to be honest. Tottenham just look very predictable at the moment. It's just going from side to side more than anything else. Long kick downfield by Kinski. It's played infield to Simons. Now here is Richarlison, but he's bundled off the ball when he tried to hold it up. Now João Gomez coming up the middle. Gets away from Richarlison, who tried to return the favour. Now Rodrigo Gomez on this near side, feeds it infield, but that's poor again. Wolves there, easily dispossessed on halfway, but the ball from Gallagher trying to find Richarlison only found Santiago Bueno. Now Totti Gomez picks out, and again it's a loose touch again from Hugo Bueno, but it's just stabbed out of play by Porro, so it will be a throw-in to Wolves on this near side. Liverpool have doubled their lead at Anfield. Andy Robertson on target for Liverpool. against Crystal Palace. So Liverpool, as it stands, will leapfrog Aston Villa into 4th spot. There are 5 berths available this season for the Champions League. But here, it's all about survival. Wolves have already perished, but Tottenham really have to win this today. It wouldn't be terminal if they didn't, for example, if they drew. But again, it depends on what West Ham do against Everton. But they can't really think about West Ham. They just have to get this job done themselves and see what happens over in East London. But Wolves come forward now with Armstrong down this left-hand side, but he's dispossessed on the side of the penalty area, but almost wins the ball back there. Terrier-like as he charging down here. Here's Danso. Has to get the ball upfield quickly, but it's headed back down from where it came by Totti Gomez, and suddenly Wolves enjoying a little purple patch here. Rodrigo Gomez on this near side. Now Matthias Mane trying to get in round the back. Has he won a corner? Yes, he has. Pedro Porro fuming with Anthony Taylor. But it is a corner to Wolves on this near side, and it will be Mane who will take it. This is what Tottenham have to be worrying about here. Wolves have created practically nothing all game, but from a set piece anything is possible. So Mane whips it in. Oh, just a glancing header from Armstrong, but it goes across the face of goal and out for a goal kick. It doesn't matter who you are or who you're playing against. Corner always gives a chance for a team to maybe scramble a goal. And we see it so often. Tottenham survive that one, and it will be a goal kick to Spurs. Of what has been an interesting half. They started very brightly, but it's just really fizzled out for the last 25 minutes. It's been very ponderous and predictable. They've not really worked Jose Sarr at all, which will be a concern against the team rock bottom of the table who are already relegated. They've not really threatened Wolves at all. Here's Simons on this left-hand side. Infield it comes to Bentancur. Now Danso, halfway inside the Wolves half. Short ball to Gallagher, back to Danso. But again, Spurs are forced to send it back into their own half, and it's a poor ball again from Danso. Van de Ven has to go chasing after it. 90 seconds of normal time remaining in this first half. I think we'll probably maybe have 2 or 3 added on. Just that break there while Dom Solanke was receiving treatment before he had to go off. Now here's Porro. Kolo Muani feeds it again all the way back to Van de Ven. Halfway inside his own half. The big Dutchman brings the ball down, brings it up to the halfway line. Inside the final minute now of normal time. Here's Pedro Porro. Now it comes to Kolo Muani. Feeds the ball back in field again. Porro tries to whip the ball in, but it's poor. Straight through to Jose Sarr. And Tottenham are going to have to do better than this. And the long kick downfield from Sarr, but it's just going to go all the way through to his opposite number, Kinski, who traps the ball with his foot and then walks it out of the area. This is Danso. Bentancur, edge of the centre circle. And now Simons out to Spence on that left-hand side, but he's briefly dispossessed by Doherty. Fires the ball back in field to Van de Ven. Now Simons once more. This is Bissouma. And Gallagher. And again, ball comes into the shadows to the Frenchman, Kolo Muani. Well, it's a poor ball from Porro, trying to return the favour there. But Tottenham briefly win the ball back, but it squirts forward into the Wolves area. Totti Gomez clears it downfield, but it's headed back towards the Wolves area. And it goes out on that near side here. Porro can't get to it. It will be a throw-in. 3 minutes added time here. Roberto De Zerbi starting to look a little bit frustrated now. Still goalless at the London Stadium. So as things stand, Spurs will remain in the bottom three. West Ham 2 points above them, remember. Spurs know that if they can win today and West Ham slip up to Everton, then they will be out of that drop zone. Coming into the final run-in. There's still room for twists and turns yet. Richarlison between now and the end of the season, but Spurs have to win this. Just by the virtue that they're playing a relegated team, and by the virtue that they need a win. They have to. They've not won a game this year, this calendar year, and they have to get some momentum here and some belief into this team. But Wolves are frustrating them here at the moment. Comes out to Spence on this left-hand side, stabs it forward, gets the ball back from Simons. And Spence just gets the ball trapped under his feet and is dispossessed, so that's disappointing again. As Wolves trying to keep the ball out on that far side, and the foul comes in. Referee says no, carry on. Here's Bissouma, but he carelessly loses the ball. And then Wolves give the ball away, and then a pretty horrible challenge comes in there on the edge of the centre circle on Bissouma. Spurs players getting involved here. But that was the result of just poor play all round there. Oh, that was a nasty one from Andre. He's caught him on top of his foot there. Went in with the studs up. And he's still down, is the Malian international. Well, will this go upstairs, I wonder? This could be, well, there's a yellow card for somebody. Andre now is going ballistic. He's being held back by Matthias Mane. There's words between him and his fellow countryman Richarlison. Bissouma is still down. I'm assuming that yellow card is for Andre. If it is, he's a lucky lad, because that was a nasty one. Yeah, looking at that again, that's a poor challenge. A poor challenge. See the reaction of Rob Edwards there. He sort of looked very pensive. But Andre it is just a yellow card, so we're now in added time, and Bissouma's still down on the floor. Don't really need this, do you, now at this stage in the game? You just want to get off. Someone pull him to his feet and let's get to half-time. De Zerbi looks fed up, I have to say. He's sat in his chair, his arms folded. He doesn't look a happy camper at the moment. Bissouma's still down on the floor. And still goalless at the London Stadium. And now it's half-time, actually, in the West Ham game. Oh, come on, Eve, get up. Honestly. This is taking far too long. We're now played 4.5 minutes of 3 added. And this stoppage is really annoying for players and fans alike when it's like this late in the half. You just want to get off. He's back up on his feet now. So a yellow card for Andre. And referee Anthony Taylor just clearing the decks here. It will be a free kick to Spurs on the edge of the centre circle inside the Wolves half, directly in centre field. It's Pedro Porro standing over the ball. So there'll be a little bit more time added on now after that unwanted delay. Porro just goes short, and he could have fired it into the area, and they're faffing around with it again here, Spurs. It's back to Porro from pretty much where he took the free kick to begin with. He just edges forward, sends it to Simons to his right. Now back to Porro, who then finally chips it into the area. It's headed out towards the side of the penalty box. Gathered in, Tottenham have it here, but that's poor. That is really poor from Tottenham, and it's forced out, and that is half-time here at Molineux. Well, they started very brightly, but it's fizzled out quite horribly since then. Spurs look bereft of confidence and more worryingly of ideas. Half time, it's 0-0. We'll be back in 15 for full second half coverage. But Spurs here, they've got to find something more. We'll be back soon. Well, welcome back to Molineux. I'm Joe Mills for this Premier League game between Wolverhampton Wanderers and Tottenham Hotspur, a game which Spurs just simply have to win. It's 0-0 at half-time. The visitors started well, started brightly, and then all of a sudden it all just fizzled out to not much at all. They had to replace Dominic Solanke with Richarlison in that first half due to an injury to the striker, but they've really not threatened the Wolves goal in any kind of way, and they have to get their act together here. They've made a change. Mathis Tel is replacing Randall Kolo Muani, so Frenchman for Frenchman, but they do have to come up and be a lot more positive in this second period. I mean, they dominated largely the possession, but just didn't do an awful lot with it. Bright sunshine here in the West Midlands. Anthony Taylor, the man in the middle. Wolves in the old gold and the black shorts, Spurs all in black. Wolves will be playing from left to right in this second half as the shadows start to lengthen across the pitch. The ball goes all the way back to the man in bright pink, Jose Sarr. Long clearance upfield. I mean, to be fair, Wolves have offered very little themselves, but they've nothing left to prove here. They know their fate. They're just proving very frustrating for Tottenham at the moment. Hugo Bueno wins, well, they've got a throw in. Wolverhampton Wanderers over on that far side. Mathis Tel seems incredulous to the decision there. He thought he'd won Spurs a throw in. Don't forget, other games going on. Liverpool 2-0 up at home to Palace, but most importantly, West Ham 0, Everton 0. In fact, it's a free kick to Wolves over on that far side. Matthias Mane will be the man to take it. Fairly tight to the touchline, but again, these are the opportunities, the set pieces that set the nerves jangling. Mane whips it into the area. Oh, goodness me. There's a glancing header from Adam Armstrong, which I think was blocked on the edge of the 6-yard area, and it's gone out for a corner. Little glancing header there. It was heading goalwards. It was blocked by Richarlison. So corner comes in, but it's not the best towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's headed away. But Spurs have given it away, but then a side-footed effort from 35 yards out goes high over the crossbar from Pedro Lima. So Tottenham absolutely desperate. No wins in 2026. They're currently in the bottom three. They simply have to get something from this game. A draw really will be a poor result for them as well. It wouldn't be terminal, but it would be a huge dent once again. And again, as I said, it depends what happens over in East London. If West Ham were to win today and Tottenham don't get a win here, then they really would be in the mire. Here's Sarr with a clearance into that bright sunshine. Porro wins it for Tottenham. They have it with Bentancur down that right-hand side. He chips it. Now they're trying to get Tell in here. He's near the corner flag, tussling with Totti Gomez. That ball went out of play. Yeah, the flag goes up. So it will be a throw in to Wolves. Mathis Tel not impressed with the decision once again, but I can tell him that ball did go over the line. It's almost 48 minutes gone. Those Spurs fans all in their sunglasses but still shielding their eyes, and they look a disgruntled bunch at the moment. They're not happy with what they're seeing. You know, it's all very well you can come here thinking, well, we're playing bottom of the table, they're relegated, they've nothing to play for. And that's, well, you know, that can go one of two ways, but to their credit, Wolves today have just shown great effort and endeavour, not refusing to roll over here. And Spurs are finding it difficult to break them down. Spencer's put that out for a throw. Pedro Lima will take it on this near side in the shadows. 48.5 minutes gone. Well, that was a bit of a waste. Threw it back to Doherty, who then tried to chip it downfield, and it skewed off the Irishman's boot and out for a throw-in for Spurs. Seems obvious to say it, but this game badly needs a goal. It's just hobbling along at the moment. Not much happening at all. Now then, here's Bissouma on this near side. Chips it down the flank, but it's too strong, and it will go out for a goal kick. More frustration. Spence had no chance of getting to that. And the longer the clock ticks on, the more frustrated the travelling fans become. And the nerves start to kick in then. And I can tell you that West Ham have taken the lead over Everton. Thomas Souček has scored for the Hammers. So if it wasn't pressure enough now, it is huge. Because as things stand, Tottenham will be 4 points behind West Ham as things stand, with 4 games remaining. And I'm sure the fans have heard that now, and I'm sure they'll find a way of letting the players know that too. But Wolves have the ball here. João Gomez, edge of the penalty area. They get the ball back on the return there. Lima chips the ball into the 6-yard area. It's headed away. Oh, that's a poor clearance. He's just given it straight back to a gold shirt there on the edge of the area. And now Spurs have given away a throw-in as well. It's panic back there at the moment. Lima now will have the throw-in once more. And it will be a long one from the Brazilian. And the tension ratchets up once more with that news of that goal for West Ham. So here's Lima. Booming throw into the area. It's Tottenham headed away. It's hooked downfield by Xavi Simons, but there's nobody there to get it. And it's Andre who will retrieve the ball. And now it comes out to this far left-hand side. Matthias Mane tries to play it through for the run of Armstrong, but that was well defended. And now Tottenham will look to break down this right-hand side. Mathis Tel. Now good ball out to this left side. It's gathered in here. Simons is in the area. Drops the shoulder. Oh, he worked himself into a good position. And again we see that little pained expression that we see from him. He's got such a little boy face, hasn't he, the Dutchman? Always looks as if he's about to burst into tears. He did the hard work there, dropped the shoulder, cut inside, and then he ballooned it over the bar from 8 yards out. That was a good chance there. Just had to wrap his foot round Santiago Bueno's. And that pained expression again returns. And I have to say, he limps away from that effort. But those Spurs fans will know what's going on in East London, and they will really be fearing the worst at the moment. As Wolves come forward again here, stabbed down this right flank, but that'll be easily tidied up there by Porro. Back to Kinski. Chips the ball forward. Roberto De Zerbi is visibly frustrated down there, muttering away to himself. In fact, it's going to be a free kick to Wolves on the halfway line. Quite sure what that was all about, but it's taken quickly. Here's Mane. But Tottenham there do brilliantly. They win the ball back on halfway, but the ball downfield for Richarlison is too heavy. And that allowed... Well, what's the keeper doing there? He almost took too long on the ball. Richarlison got right up to him. Anyway, Doherty with a long ball out to this right-hand side, this near side, brought down neatly. Now Wolves coming forward here. They seem to be growing into this contest. Rodrigo Gomez. Ball comes back to João Gomez. And Rodrigo again. Matt Doherty squares it into the centre circle. Santiago Bueno. Now it comes out to Hugo Bueno on this left-hand side. Just dabs the ball back to Totti Gomez. Now Matthias Mane. They're still tight to that far touch line. But that's a heavy touch from the Englishman. Richarlison gets in there to pinch it off him. Now here's Gallagher on halfway. Feeds a great ball through here for Richarlison, but that's a really poor effort. Edge of the area. He had 2 men breathing down his neck, but he's ballooned that over the bar from that distance. And more frustration from the stands. 53, almost 54 minutes gone. Still 0-0 here. But West Ham are leading against Everton, and as things stand, Tottenham will be 4 points behind the Hammers and remaining in the drop zone. It seems almost inconceivable that Tottenham could go down, but it's very much the reality right now. It really is. And that's headed out by Bentancur. So it will be a throw-in for Wolves over on that far side. We get the ball back near the touchline here. Bueno. Now Mane, he can't get past Porro, but the ball stays in play. Bueno once again plays it in round the back. Mane's got in and he's gone down under a foul there. It will be a free kick to Wolves. Pedro Porro, needless foul there, just outside the penalty area, on the side of the penalty area. And Wolves are starting to grow into this game now. Remember, they've nothing to play for. Tottenham, after a bright opening 10 minutes, have been really poor today. They've offered so little. And the frustration starting to build on the pitch as well. Sets of players having words with each other. And again, the pushing and shoving going on here. Porro is really angry about something. It seems to have been quelled now. But it will be a free kick to Wolves on the side of the Tottenham box. Over on that left side. 55, almost 56 minutes gone here. Hugo Bueno will he be the man to take? No, it'll be Matthias Mane. So what can Wolves come up with here? 56 on the clock. Mane just outside the penalty area on the side, about level with the 6-yard box. Dangerous spot this. So Mane, well, that's poor. Into the two-man wall, comes out to the edge of the box, floated back in, equally poor, straight into the hands of Kinski, who then launches it out of his hands downfield, looking here for the run of Simons. He will get it, and he'll try to get in round the back of Hugo Bueno, and he's fouled, is he? The ball's gone out of play. It touched Simons last, who stayed down. Again, that little boy face once more. He's clutching his knee. Hugo Bueno's like, what the hell? I haven't done anything. I have to say, Porro was booked for that earlier foul, but I think it was maybe that he had too much to say afterwards. But Simons has gone down. And again, looking round, trying to... He stayed down as well. Well, if this is a genuine injury, this will be another huge blow for Tottenham. They've already lost Solanke. Kolo Muani replaced at half-time. Lucas Bergvall is stripped and ready to come on, as is João Palhinha. I can't see that that's going to... Well... Yeah, Palhinha's he's getting ready, he's putting his shin guards on. And Lucas Bergvall is being readied as well. Simons has stayed down here. And another delay we could do without. Spurs fans baking in that sunshine. Roberto De Zerbi looks on, he just looks bewildered by what he's seeing here. It just seems to be a conundrum that nobody seems to be able to solve. Thomas Frank couldn't, Igor Tudor certainly couldn't, and once again the Italian looks concerned, and he's still down here, Simons, on the byline, manipulating the leg. This is going to add time on. And, well, they're still flexing that leg. The players waiting to come on. It's going to be Bergvall and Palhinha. I'm assuming Simons will be one of them to come off. I think it might be Bentancur or Gallagher, the other one, who will make way. De Zerbi standing there, hands in pockets. The Dutchman still on his back here. Come on, fellas, let's get on with the game. Tottenham fans baking in that sun. It just seems, I don't know, there just seems an inevitability about this Tottenham side at the moment. Simons is back up on his feet now. The hierarchy look on from the stands. They must be very concerned. And Simons now back up on his feet, but we are going to get a double change here. But when is another matter. Well, Wolves get us back underway, so we've played almost an hour and we've had a 4 or 5 minute delay there. And Santiago Bueno will bring it up towards the edge of the centre circle. Now Andre, Totti Gomez out to this left hand side. Hugo Bueno whips the cross in towards the back post, then it's fired back across the goal. Header comes in, but it's over the bar by Matthias Mane. Hour gone, and Wolves definitely starting to get the better of this at the moment, which is not what Tottenham fans want to hear. But there just seems to be a real mental weakness in this team. You know, if you can't raise yourself for a game like this against a relegated team and you're fighting for survival, well, Simons has gone down again here, rolling around on the side of the pitch. And, well, again, we can't stop again here. This is ridiculous. Get the subs on and let's get on with the game. And I think that's hopefully what they're about to do. Palhinha and Bergvall are going to come on for Tottenham. 61 minutes gone. Still 1-0 to West Ham against Everton. And looks as if the Dutchman has run his race. Stretcher is coming on, in fact. Well, that could be his season done and dusted. He is one of the players who is going to come off, obviously. And the other one is going to be Yves Bissouma. Of course, he's on a yellow card, so it will be double change. Palhinha and Bergvall to come on for Bissouma and Simons. We get a little change up in the formation here. Palhinha speaking now with Bentancur. They need to do something, because this is whatever, you know, this isn't working right now. It isn't working at all. The Stretcher's gone out to that far side. He's off the pitch, so let's get on with the game. So Bergvall is on. We've wasted enough time now, it's ridiculous. So 62 minutes gone. And it will be a goal kick to Tottenham. Antonin Kinski has the ball on the edge of the 6-yard box. And launches it downfield, down to this left-hand side, flick on header. Richarlison gathers it in with his back towards the goal. But again, Wolves are all over them. They're swarming here, and that's put out of play by Richarlison. It will be a throw-in for Wolves on this near side. They're just not allowing them any time on the ball at the moment. And the frustration is starting to build inside Molineux from one particular set of fans. Here's Spence. Wants a rather aimless ball up towards the centre circle. Richarlison comes in, tries to win the header, then it's hacked downfield. Spurs will chase after this, but Santiago Bueno's header up to halfway, and then the foul comes in, and a clumsy one at that from Kevin Danso on Adam Armstrong. And it's a free kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers. 63.5 minutes gone. And now, ball played round the back, but Danso gets across quickly. Wolves have to well, that's a poor ball out to the right-hand side. Porro miscontrols it, and it goes out for a throw-in. Yeah. if I was a Spurs fan, I'd be very concerned about what I'm seeing out there right now. It really is. There's very little. Now then, long ball downfield again, looking for Mane. Porro wins the header. Now then, João Palhinha. Ball out to this right-hand side. And it's put out for a throw-in. Now Tell has gone down. Come on, boys. Let's not mess around here. He gets up, though. He does look in quite a bit of pain, the Frenchman. Took a bang there. Free kick taken quickly. And then chipped over the top, looking for Richarlison, headed away by Santiago Bueno, but Lucas Bergvall is first to it. Does well there, but again, it's a poor ball towards the edge of the area, and it's easily defended. It's hammered downfield. Armstrong, well, gets in between. Oh, and now he got in between Danso. Kinski had to come out and got there in the nick of time, and then a foul comes in, and it's going to be a free kick to Wolves just outside the penalty area. And that was a real mess again there. Danso, far too casual. Armstrong pressured him all the way there, and Kinski had to come out and deal with it, and got there just in the nick of time. But it is extraordinary, just the lack of urgency here. And then the foul comes in, Bentancur on Matthias Mane. He was going to pick up that second ball after the punch clear by Kinski. Clumsy challenge from the Uruguayan, and it will be a free kick to Wolves. In centre field, about 30 yards out. And we shall see what they can come up with here. But at the moment, I have to say, I mean, Wolves look the better team right now. It's that simple. They do. And free kick comes in, but it's wide of the post from Hugo Bueno on that right-hand side. 66 minutes gone. Still 0-0. Wasn't that far away. Just going over the junction of post and crossbar on that far side. Kinski colliding with the post momentarily. So, short goal kick. Danso, now Pedro Porro on that far side. Plays it round the back, but again it's a loose ball. Gallagher doesn't get to it in time. And it's just frustration among frustration at the moment. Throwing for Spurs over on that far side. Porro will take it. Here's João Palhinha. You just don't see them scoring at the moment. You just really don't. As I said, they got off to a bright start, but just their belief has just waned over the last hour. And they just don't look as if they're going to create a single thing here. Ball over the top from Danso. Finds Spence inside the area on this left-hand side. Feeds it back to Bentancur. Now Spence once again, but again Wolves are just too voracious. They're all over them, forcing them and making mistakes, and it's gone out for a throw-in to Wolves. I think Spurs are a little taken aback here about the effort that's going in here from Rob Edwards' side. They're just they're not rolling over at all. And that's what's lacking in this Tottenham team. This is a huge display of character from Wolves. But now, space through the middle now for Tell. Ball breaks for him. Tries a long-range shot, takes a big deflection and goes out for a corner from the edge of the area there. And opportunity, though, now maybe from a set piece for Tottenham. 68 minutes on the clock. Fourth corner for Spurs. Wolves have had 4 as well. Little conversation here between Porro and Danso. Danso goes back into the penalty area. Conor Gallagher whispering something to Mathys Tell. We have to find something. Absolutely desperate now. Corner for Spurs on this far side. Ball is whipped in. Head, oh, what a save from Sarr! What a save there. I think it was Van der Ven. Huge bullet header. Flag's gone up for offside for the second effort. Or maybe, no, it was Bentancur. What a header that was, and what a save from Jose Sarr. That went like a train, that header. And Sarr down to his left-hand side. Stopped it on the line. That went like a rocket. What a save from the Portuguese stopper. More frustration for Tottenham as we approach the 70th minute. We're hearing that Mohamed Salah's gone off with a hamstring injury at Anfield, and many are feeling that that could be his final game in a Liverpool shirt. That will be a sad way to finish. But here Tottenham are staring down the barrel here. They've been really poor today. This is Sarr, has the ball at his feet. Now Matt Doherty chips the ball up to halfway. And then it's hooked downfield once again, but this will be gathered in by Andre. That's not the best ball there. Totti Gomez finds Hugo Bueno. He sends it up to halfway, but Porro gets to it first, but then doesn't get the second ball. Spurs put it out for a throw-in. And Wolves are going to make a change of their own now. Looks like we're going to see the big Nigerian target man, Toro Okoradare. So 70.5 minutes gone. Still 0-0. Tottenham here just look completely devoid of belief and ideas at the moment. And, you know, if they don't get the win here today, it's just the manner of it. You know, they've come here to a side with nothing to play for but pride. And that's exactly what they've shown. And that's the problem, I think, with Tottenham. Their mentality is way off. Rodrigo Gomez is the man who's going to make way. And Toro Okoradare is the man who's going to come on, just to add a little bit of presence up front as well. West Ham still leading Everton by 1-0 in that game in East London. Now then, ball downfield. Here is Okoradare on that far side. A presence in the air. Wolves forced back into their own half, but they've won a throw-in off the shins of Tell. Quick throw. Now Mane down this left-hand side. Can't get away from Porro, and then Porro has gone down, but the referee says no, it's fine. Tottenham do come away with it, though. Now Richarlison bundled off the ball too easily on halfway. Far too easy, that. Got to show more than that. And the ball comes back to Kinski, and who has to chip it out for a throw-in. No, it stayed in play. It was heading out on this near side. But, yeah, there's just a lack of fight, really. A complete lack of fight. Now here's Totti Gomez inside the centre circle, squares it back across to Santiago Bueno, out to this near side, and there's another foul comes in there. Jed Spence on Pedro Lima. Again, it's just clumsy and it doesn't help the situation. Yeah, just left his leg in there. I'm not quite sure why Jed Spence is wearing leggings today. It's one of the warmest days of the year. Palace have pulled a goal back at Anfield. Daniel Munoz. A strip of paper now comes onto the pitch for Tottenham. I mean, it's desperate, isn't it? It is desperate. Mathis Tell tucks it into his shorts. It is a free kick to Wolves. About 5 yards in from touch. Everyone on the edge of the penalty area. Pedro Lima will be the man to take this. Whips it in towards the edge of the area. It's headed away. Back up towards the centre circle. Wolves give the ball back to Tottenham here. Spence has to turn, sends it back to Kinski, who then hammers it downfield from pretty much the dead ball line, but Richarlison goes down under that challenge there. Then he gets back up to his feet. Wolves have won the ball back. But now that back pass, oh, that could have been, and then a sliding there for trying to retrieve that back pass. It's a foul by Gallagher on Doherty. And again, just frustration mounting and mounting. Tottenham are just can't seem to string passes together here. And at the moment, they're going to find themselves really in trouble after this game if they don't manage to do anything here. Gallagher's gone into the book. I have to say, it was a bit of 6 of one and half a dozen of the other with that challenge with Doherty, but it will be a free kick to Wolves. And Jose Sarr will be the man who will take it. He launches it downfield. And it's headed back up towards the halfway line. And another foul, this time by Lucas Bergvall. And João Gomes is the man who went down. He's back up now, and it's whipped in towards that back post by Wolves. It goes over the top of everybody, but it will be retrieved by Hugo Bueno over on that far side. Drop of the shoulder, gets the ball into the area, glancing header, but Orakadare couldn't control it with his back to goal on the edge of the 6-yard box, and it squirts away from him, and it's picked up by Kinski, who then lashes it downfield, looking for Tell on that far side, but the Frenchman just chests it out for a throw-in for Wolves. There's just nothing there. There's no creativity there whatsoever from Tottenham at the moment. Nothing whatsoever. And this is, it's just very comfortable for Wolves at the moment. They've just got to hope that they can pull something out from somewhere, just with anything. They're going to get a free kick here. I'm not quite sure what that was for. But coming up to the 76th minute, I'd say we'll get at least 5 minutes of added time here with that nonsense with Xavi Simons. Now then, here is Van der Ven on halfway. Kevin Danso out to Tell on this right-hand side. Chips it down the line. Here's Porro. He tried to feed it back in, but it's blocked by Hugo Bueno and will be a throw-in for Tottenham. If they've any sense here, go for the boomer, and they are doing. Danso, you've got to try and find a way here. Anything, try something. And this could be an opportunity. Big throw coming in from the Austrian over on that right-hand side. 76.5 minutes gone. In comes the big throw. Orakadawe gets to it before Sarr. They collide. Ball comes back out to this right-hand side. Chipped in once again. Sarr goes up for it and he's fouled by Richarlison. Lands heavily. Please don't stay down. Oh, my word. And he's about, well, he is doing. We don't want any more delays. This is just getting ridiculous now. He did go up for it, but I think he got caught in the rib cage there by Richarlison. He's laid down rubbing that rib cage right now, Sarr, who's a feisty character himself. There's the Tottenham hierarchy. Watch on, glum-faced. James Maddison, I think. Is he about to come, get ready to come on? But, you know, they'll be saying to themselves, you know, if we can't get a result against a relegated team at the bottom of the league, have only won 3 games all season, when our very Premier League existence depends on it, then, you know, it's damning. It is absolutely damning. Just the manner of the performance, really, and add to that the very critical fact that West Ham are winning, so which makes it even worse. 1 shot on target all game. Wolves, though, have a shot from the edge of the area that's blocked. And now Richarlison tries to win it back, but Wolves have the ball again. Now here's Mane inside the area, left-hand side. Squares it over, header goes over the bar from Armstrong. 78.5 gone. And I will say this, Wolves look the more likely at the moment to get the goal. And Everton have hit the bar against West Ham. But the thing is, Spurs, you know, you can't rely on other. You've got to do the job yourself. And at the moment, they aren't doing it. They don't even look close to doing it. Long ball downfield by Kinski, headed back down the line there by Spence. It's gathered in by Richarlison, but there's no support. And he loses the ball. There's no support there at all. They pick it up now, though, with Palhinha in centre field. Now, here's Porro. Chips the ball into the area. Oh, it's just missed. Richarlison, diving header at the back post. Ball whipped back in, edge of the box now. Then it comes back to Spence on this near side, edge of the penalty area. Well, I think the flag's gone up. Yes, it has. Oh, he looks so close. But that's the thing at the moment for Tottenham. When you're down, just nothing seems to go right. He was inches away from connecting with that. Nothing seems to go right when you're down. In fact, that came off a Wolves' head. It glanced the top of Matt Doherty's head there. Anyway, ball's gone down the other end of the field and has gone out for a Tottenham goal kick. Just under 10 minutes of normal time remaining. But we will have a pretty big chunk of added time, I suspect. And Spurs, while there's time, there's hope, I suppose. Now then, here's a ball down, looking for Tell, but he can't control it on the edge of the area. But he's done well, though, to keep it in play, because Bueno tried to let that run out. Now Tell's got the ball in here. He's won a corner. That's good play from the Frenchman, and that's what you want to see more of there. There just needs to be more endeavour, more effort, more urgency than anything else. So it is a corner over on that far side. And like I said, any chance from a set piece, you've got to try and get something from it. And it seems to me that could be the only way that either of these sides score a goal today. Porro whips it in. Breaks for Richarlison. Can he get it out of his feet? It's turned in! Oh, it's João Palhinha who's turned it in! It was a stabbed effort from Richarlison, but Palhinha was lurking near that back post and he taps it home from 3 yards out. Spurs have the goal. Oh, the fans are in delirium here. They finally got that precious goal. It's João Palhinha and Spurs have the lead. Goodness me. It could be a huge lifeline. It really could. He was lurking inside the 6-yard box. It fell to Richarlison, couldn't get the ball out of his feet initially. Matt Doherty there, ball watching. He peeled away from Palhinha, stood watching what Richarlison was doing, and it was stabbed in at the back post by João Palhinha, stuck out a leg, and it's gone in. And Spurs have that precious goal. But they know that it could be still as you were by the end of play today, but they won't mind that so much. They still be 2 points behind the Hammers, but they have 4 games to try and do something about it. If they hadn't got a win here today, and I'm not saying that they will, there's still time, then it would have been grave. But they have that goal now, and that could be huge in the grand scheme of things. But we know with Tottenham, they have to hold on now. They really have to try and hold on to this. Hwang Hee-chan is being readied by Rob Edwards. And suddenly all the noise is coming from the Spurs fans. Will that give them some belief here to go and try and get a second and put this game to bed? It's going to be a throw into Wolves over on that far side. Still 1-0 to West Ham over in East London. Those Spurs fans will be praying that Everton can get an equaliser. maybe reduce the arrears to just 1 point. Armstrong wins the ball in edge of the centre circle, then breaks away downfield, but that's a good block tackle there. But the Wolves will retain the ball halfway inside the Spurs half. 84 minutes gone. Wolves 0, Spurs 1. But I reckon we've got about 10 minutes remaining here, maybe a wee bit more. Totti Gomez. And it comes out to this right-hand side. Cutting field from Pedro Lima. He comes back to the edge of the centre circle. And now Wolves have it, edge of the area, but that's a good block tackle there from Bentancur. And that ball will roll out for a goal kick. Pedro Lima having the final touch there. Hwang Hee-chan is about to come on for Wolves. Matt Doherty, the captain, comes off. Captain's armband goes to João Gomes. So there might be a little change in formation here for Wolves. And I think they're going to make another change as well. Rob Edwards telling Jackson Tuchua to get his shirt on quickly. Pedro Lima is going to be withdrawn. So a double change. And the Cameroonian comes on. And the Brazilian goes off. Those Spurs fans are absolutely in raptures at the moment. They look so glum. But will there be another twist in the tail here? But they've made such hard work of this today. They've been poor. There's no other way of saying it. But they have found a way to get that goal. Can they ice this game now? This is a good ball out. Space on this right-hand side now for Mathys Tel. Edge of the penalty area. Ran into trouble there, but it's picked up here. Porro ghosts in round the back, feeds it. Oh, good save at the near post. Palmed out. Spurs still have it with Tel inside the penalty area. He's forced, although, all the way out to that sideline. This is Conor Gallagher. Tel once more. Now here is Porro, but he's dispossessed by Hwang Hee-chan. Chips the ball away with the outside of his boot, and it goes out for a throw-in to Spurs on that far side. That was good work there from Pedro Porro. Tried to fire it in from a really tight spot there. And I can tell you that Everton have equalised. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall in the 88th minute. So that will give Spurs even more heart, as there's a tangle here near the corner flag. But Richarlison is on his bum, still trying to hold the ball with his feet. No one can seem to get it off him, and now he's got back to his feet, and now it's still a tangle of legs. Matthias Marnie then loses it to Conor Gallagher. Goodness me. Well, they've got the ball out now, but is that a foul on it? No, and Wolves hack it downfield, and then it's headed out for a throw-in by Bentancur. But Dewsbury Hall equalising for Everton. And those Spurs fans will know about that now too. So as things stand, it is West Ham who drop into the bottom three on goal difference. Wow, how things can change in 5 minutes. Things were looking really desperate for Tottenham. Radu Dragosan, the Romanian international, is waiting on the sidelines to come on, and that is a sign of Roberto De Zerbi saying, right, we're going to batten down the hatches here now and try and see this out. Sarr with the long clearance downfield, headed infield by Tuchua. Now here is Orkadare, he can't control it, and there's a foul there. Spurs player gets up, we still play on. Here's Hwang Hee-chan. Now Hugo Bueno whips the ball into that penalty area, headed up into the air by Spence. And then is Spence fouled inside the area? No. Ball comes to the edge of the area. It's chipped into the near post, but it's into the arms of Antonin Kinski. Not the best cross, that, from Tuchua. 90 seconds of normal time remaining. And Spurs have that precious lead. And Everton have done them a favour. Late equaliser from Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. But are we going to get more drama before close of play here. Now Wolves on this near side. Chachua cuts in field, stops, sends it back out wide here for, well, an attempted cross there for Wolves by Hwang Hee-chan, but Tottenham clear it away downfield, just desperate just to get rid of the ball up the pitch. Inside the final minute now of normal time. But Spurs, yes, they might end the day out of the drop zone, but this has been far from a convincing performance today. I suppose at this stage it's all about just, you know, a win's a win, whether it's ugly or not. This has been bowling shoe ugly today, but it's not over yet. Yao Gomez feeds the ball infield. Now Hwang goes round the corner. Here's Mane now, cuts in on that right foot, tries to get a shot away, but it's way, way wide and high. Awful, really. And now we're going to find out how much added time we're going to get after the Xavi Simons saga. Just waiting for the board to go up. 7 minutes. 7 minutes we're going to get here at Molineux. Liverpool leading Palace 2-1. It's West Ham 1, Everton 1 in the other games taking place in the Premier League this afternoon. Doesn't look as if James Maddison's going to figure again today. Conor Gallagher is going to be withdrawn, and Dragasant is going to come on. Defensive reinforcements for Tottenham to try and see themselves over the line here. So Dragasant comes on, speaks to Bentancur. And, well, this is going to be a nervy 7 minutes for those Tottenham fans at the moment. They're hanging on here. Long ball downfield. Wolves deal with it. Totti Gomez on the edge of the area. Now then, here's Chachua. Plays it up to the halfway line. Hwang, ball down that right channel, but that's easily defended by Dragasant. And that's good work. Spurs win the ball back with Spence. Now here is Tell through the middle. He's got two men around him. Yeah, he didn't get the support there again, but he's won the ball back brilliant. Well, it's a free kick, says the referee. Just didn't have the support there, Tell. He had Richarlison to his left, but there was no clear path through him. De Zerbi is told to get back in his hutch by the fourth official, just coming out of the technical area. Now, ball fed down this left side, looking for Mane, but Porro will get there first. And then it's hammered downfield up to the halfway line. Tell does well to chest that down, and he's fouled from behind there. And wins his side a free kick over on that far side. 2 minutes of the added 7 already gone. Spurs leading here by 1-0. Crucial. Oh, and I can tell you that West Ham have got a late goal. Callum Wilson has scored for the Hammers in the 92nd minute, and that has changed everything once again. So Tottenham are now back in the bottom 3. So short-lived was the joy. A late goal for West Ham, that could be massive in the season. It really could. Spurs know they simply desperately have to hang on to what they have here now. Well, that is huge. Wow, late drama. West Ham find themselves now back where they were, 2 points clear of Tottenham. But Spurs still in with a shout. 4 games to go still. And they are 4 minutes, just under 4 minutes away from getting the job done here, which is all that today was about. It's been difficult. Been so difficult. But who knows what this win today will do for their confidence, you know. And that's a foul on Porro by Hwang. So it will be a free kick to Spurs. Sorry, so on Bentancur. And now David Moller-Wolf is coming on for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Hugo Bueno is the man to make way. So Bueno replaced. Wow, what a real kick to the guts that is for Tottenham. And that's just the way the season's going, and the ups and the downs, you know. But they have the lead, and that is crucial for them right now. And I'm sure there'll be many twists and turns in the remaining 4 games. So as long as they get the win here today, that's all they can control. They can't control anything else. That could be a huge win if it stays that way for the Hammers. Callum Wilson, the veteran striker. Wolves have it here, but time is ticking away. 2.5 minutes of normal time remain. They fire the ball upfield, but now, well, Tottenham didn't gather it in there. Long range shot, no. He just tried to pick it out, the man out on the edge of the area, but Spurs break downfield now with Richarlison, who runs into, he's blocked off there, goes down holding his face. It's going to be a free kick. Oh, it's Bergvall, I do beg your pardon. I just saw a shock of blonde hair. It's going to be a yellow card for João Gomez. Yeah, I mean, he put his arm up as well. He caught the Swede in the face there. Yeah, that's got him right under the chin. Don't forget he did that in the first half as well. Liverpool have a third. Florian Wirtz, late goal. So Liverpool have had a good day. They'll be going into 4th spot after today, leaping over Aston Villa, who went down away at Fulham in the lunchtime game. So now approaching the final minute. Long free kick downfield by Spurs out to this left-hand side. It goes over the head of Richarlison. But Wolves still pinned towards this near touchline here. Then they get a long ball up through the middle. Orakadare can't control it though. Spurs will pick up the ball here, deep inside their own half. Dragosan, long ball downfield, looking for the run of Richarlison down this left channel. And the Brazilian, well, again, he's got it. Oh, now he's gone down in the area, but that was never a foul. He almost managed to pinch the ball there off Chachua, but he's got to be stronger there. He almost pinched it. It was just a coming together. 30 seconds remaining. Tottenham, can they hold on? Wolves on the edge of the penalty. Oh, they've got a free kick here. They have a free kick. There's a yellow card as well. I think it's Kevin Danso who's been booked here for the foul on Matthias Mane. Oh, goodness me. And those Spurs fans now are going to have to cross fingers, legs and all sorts, because Wolves have a free kick on the edge of the Tottenham box. We're now in added time of added time. It's full time at Anfield. They're still playing at the London Stadium. Spurs fans can't look here. It's about 25 yards out, this free kick. And wow, if this was to go in added time of added time, Bergvall is the draft excluder. Looks like we've got a 4-man wall here for Spurs, maybe even a 5-man wall. Moller-Wolf standing over it, along with someone else. Not sure who that is next to him. But you don't want this, do you? Right at the end. This could literally be the last kick of the game. And your heart will just be in your mouth at this point, particularly with West Ham going back in front. Free kick comes in. Oh, what a save from Kinski. That was heading in the top corner, and he's tipped it over, collided with the post, but that is some save. And remember, this is the kid who was hauled off after 15 minutes in the Champions League. João Gomez, brilliant effort that, but what a save from Antonin Kinski. But it's going to be a corner. They have to see this out. It's whipped in, headed away by Spurs. That's the full-time whistle. Spurs have got the win. Oh, goodness me, but they were made to work so hard for it. But what a hero, and I'm so pleased for him.
I am so pleased for Antonin Kinski. But Spurs have pulled themselves out of this mess. It was ugly to watch and it was difficult. It's finished in East London. West Ham have got the win, so we are staying as we were. But it's still very much in the melting pot with 4 games remaining. It's finished here at Molineux. Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Spurs 1. It's João Palhinha's goal on 82 minutes, proving the difference. I've been Joe Mills. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. But this is far from over. 4 games left to go, and we're still don't know who it's going to be. Full time, Wolves 0, Spurs 1.